In today's video, we'll talk about the steadily declining testosterone levels in men over recent years, the symptoms and harm this decline can cause, and what kinds of recommendations we can offer to counter these effects. If you have any additional suggestions, please feel free to share them in the comments, and we kindly ask you to share our videos so we can help even more people. In our previous video, we discussed the causes of low testosterone. Now let's look at how we can correct low testosterone levels. Of course, the first step is to confirm whether testosterone is actually low, and for that, a blood test is necessary. We need to look at the testosterone to estrogen ratio, as well as hormone levels such as FSH, LH, and prolactin, along with certain vitamin levels. In addition to these, several other factors are also very important. Body mass index, the man's height, weight, waist circumference, scrotal ultrasound, testicular size, and the condition of the epididymis, which is the duct through which semen passes. If a married man wants to have children, a semen analysis is absolutely essential. Today, especially for couples trying to have children, it's very important that both the man and the woman undergo testing together. The man should never be overlooked. In many cases, women end up taking unnecessary medications while tests related to the male partner are delayed. As a result, not only do these medications' side effects go to waste, but so do the financial costs. However, the testing process for men is actually quite simple. A physical examination, a scrotal ultrasound providing a semen sample, and a blood test are usually sufficient. And in blood tests, we can often clearly see that testosterone levels are very low. Testosterone has a defined reference range. Up to the age of 30, this level is usually around 80 to 90%. That is, near the upper limits. But after the age of 70, men enter a stage we call andropause. Compared to women, men tend to enter old age later. In a healthy man, testosterone levels can remain high for a long time. Unfortunately, in today's world, especially in the 21st century, male sexuality is being dulled. Male sexual identity is being erased. It's as if testosterone and masculine energy are being systematically suppressed. Or perhaps we are simply being careless, making mistakes, and failing to take this seriously enough. Unfortunately, men often don't pay enough attention to their reproductive and sexual health. As a female physician, I sometimes feel like I care more about men's health than they do themselves. I constantly try to offer advice to adult men and adolescent boys through books, videos, and educational content. Our goal is to promote preventive medicine and carry reproductive health into the future. We want to contribute to the development of healthy future generations. Because not everyone should have to depend on IVF treatments or procedures like testicular biopsy for sperm retrieval. On the contrary, boys should be raised in such a healthy way that from pregnancy and breastfeeding, through early childhood and adolescence, and into marriage and beyond, they build their lives on healthy nutrition and healthy living. Only then can our efforts achieve the results we hope for. So, how can men increase their testosterone levels? One of the most important factors we've previously emphasized is obesity. In that case, we must think in reverse. They need to lose weight. How is that achieved? We won't get into the topic of diet in this video, nor will we go into detailed workout plans. However, it has been shown that regular physical activity can increase testosterone levels by up to 30%. Especially more active, intense, and physically demanding exercises, long walks, brisk runs, sweat-inducing workouts, weight training, resistance exercises, sports that strengthen the leg muscles, and swimming, all contribute significantly to men's health. The benefits of all these activities increase even more when done outdoors, under the sun. When the arms, biceps, legs, and face are exposed to sunlight, the male body finds much greater healing. Because without vitamin D, a healthy life is simply not possible. Men must make sure to spend time in the sun, outside of work life as well. This could be a picnic with their children, a walk with their spouse, gardening, farming, animal husbandry, or other productive activities. but they all should take place under the sun. If they're going to exercise, let it be in the forest, by the sea, or out in nature. It's absolutely essential for men to get enough vitamin D from sunlight. Another way to increase testosterone is to give up harmful habits. If you smoke, drink alcohol, use electronic cigarette, or consume other substances, you should give them up completely. In addition, another important topic is sexual abstinence. So, what is sexual abstinence? It means not channeling all of the body's energy into sex and not directing libido solely toward pleasure. It's about avoiding a lifestyle that weakens the brain's prefrontal cortex and instead strengthens the limbic system, which appeals only to primal urges. In other words, it means not being overly focused on sex and desire, and at times, voluntarily holding oneself back. This too is a form of discipline. For a married man, this may coincide with his partner's menstrual periods, or it can simply mean taking a short break from sexual activity from time to time. In our faith as well, there are examples of this concept. For instance, during Ramadan, or the spiritual months known as the 3 months, it is encouraged to temporarily distance oneself from excessive desires and sexual activity in order to renew the body, soul, and heart, instead redirecting that energy toward more beneficial and spiritual pursuits, such as volunteering, engaging in community work, or contributing to scientific endeavors, is beneficial. A man should be a constantly productive individual for himself, for his family, for his country, and for his beliefs. A lifestyle built entirely around consumption, constant eating, continuous sex, living only for pleasure, does not increase testosterone. On the contrary, it lowers it. Overconsumption leads to low testosterone. This includes excessive sex and excessive masturbation. In many of our videos, we've also discussed the question, what exactly counts as excessive? Behaviors that turn from habits into addictions, not being able to live without them, constantly occupying the brain with these matters, negatively affect testosterone. Looking at obscene images, engaging in obscene conversations, building a life around these things, focusing solely on earning money, eating, and sex. In other words, turning entirely toward consumption, weakens testosterone production. Instead, the focus should be on production. Let me give you the simplest example of consumption. In IVF or insemination treatments, or even in a simple semen analysis, doctors often advise patients to abstain from sex for 3 to 4 days. No one tells you to have intercourse in the evening and provide a sample the next morning. Why? Because semen needs to accumulate. It should be at least 2 to 3 milliliters, and the cell density must be sufficient. If ejaculation occurs in the evening, the sperm count in the sample the next morning will be insufficient. But if you have sex or masturbate 2 to 3 times a day every day, sperm production decreases. In such cases, when you provide a sample for a test, you may end up with a semen sample that is almost like liquid, with sperm count close to 0. In fact, we encounter cases where people say, "There is no semen." This is a direct result of excessive consumption. So, what is intrauterine insemination? It is a method used for couples who want to have children. The man's semen is collected, and the fastest and healthiest sperm are selected in the laboratory. The woman's ovulation is monitored via ultrasound, and if necessary, an ovulation trigger shot is administered. Then, 3 days before the scheduled day, sexual intercourse is avoided. Why? Because high-quality semen is needed. Every ejaculation depletes testosterone from the male body. Sperm production follows a cycle of 72 to 90 days, during which millions of sperm are produced. However, if you are constantly engaging in sex or uninterrupted masturbation, your body cannot maintain the energy required for sperm production. Semen production decreases, and sperm quality deteriorates. This is why it's essential to use testosterone in a balanced and conscious manner. Living a sexual life within a balanced and deliberate routine is of great importance for both health and reproductive success. What happens when we live our sexual lives in balance? Testosterone levels remain balanced, and to maintain that balance, it is very important to stay away from stress. Financial concerns, debt, workplace pressures, and difficult life conditions all increase stress for men. Increased stress raises cortisol levels, which in turn triggers obesity and disrupts testosterone production. Moreover, today we hear that stimulants are being added to some energy drinks and even chocolates. These ingredients are often not listed on the product labels. men may unknowingly consume large amounts of pastes or supplements containing these substances. As a result, testosterone gets depleted again. Many men don't even know what's in these products until they experience headaches or chest tightness. What's worse, many of these pastes are sold online without proper approval. Even if some are banned, they often reappear under different names or in different packaging. This is why we must pay close attention to what we eat and drink. Our vitamin and protein levels and lifestyle choices play a major role. Protecting ourselves from stress, being in touch with nature, turning to spiritual practices, living a balanced life, spending time with family, and contributing to society, these are all essential. Only through such a holistic and balanced lifestyle can men overcome testosterone deficiency. I hope today's video has been beneficial for both men and the women in their lives, and for the future of humanity. If you found it helpful, please share your thoughts in the comments. Don't hesitate to send us your kind messages and thanks. Help us reach more people by sharing our page. We dedicate time and effort to create content that benefits you, and your support is our greatest source of motivation. Wishing you all a life filled with health, happiness, and joy. Take care.